Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. Today we're going to be looking at the 2018 Senate map based off updated polling numbers in each of these states. So some of these states obviously do not have polling because they are safe for either political party. So I will go through those states now. California has already been filled in blue because there's no Republican on the ballot there, but that means that state is safe for the Democrats, obviously. But Feinstein is leading by 20.7% statewide. Washington is a state with no opinion polling, but that is a pretty Democratic state, along with New Mexico and Hawaii. These are states that are usually called around poll closing time for the Democratic nominees in presidential elections. No reason why they shouldn't be Democratic years, especially with popular incumbents in these states. Another state would be Connecticut and Rhode Island. Both of the states do not have opinion polling. That was certified by Real Clear Politics. There may be a SurveyMonkey poll, but typically I don't think those are accepted by RCP. But that pretty much finishes off all of the states that could be characterized as safe for right now based off no opinion polling for either political party. Sorry, for the Democrats, actually. Now we have some Republican states, but let's start off with Mississippi and the Mississippi special election. Neither of them have real opinion polling other than open primary polling, which doesn't give us an accurate indication of a runoff election. Over in Nebraska and Wyoming, neither of those states have opinion polling, so those are obviously safe for the Republicans. So we've pretty much finished off all the states that do not have opinion polling. Now let's start off over in, I guess, the Northeast. We can start off in the Northeast. Bernie Sanders, currently unopposed. Obviously, there would be no opposition to someone like Bernie Sanders, obviously, would be leading in opinion polling. Over in Maine, Angus King, in the most recent and only poll taken, he leads by 27%. So, obviously, that's a considerable amount for Angus King being an independent from the state of Maine, but isn't too unexpected. Over in Massachusetts, Elizabeth Warren leads all Republican candidates by over 20%, so that one goes in the safe column for the Democrats. Over in New York, Kirsten Gillibrand is leading by a considerable amount. She's leading by 30%. Over in Pennsylvania, this is an interesting one. Bob Casey is leading by 16% statewide. That is a state that Donald Trump carried back in 2016. That is enough to put it in the safe column for the Democrats. So that's a pretty considerable lead for a Democratic senator in the state of Pennsylvania. But over in New Jersey, the Democrats lead by 9%, putting it in the likely column. That's what I consider between 6 to 15%. That's the likely column. New Jersey, surprisingly, Menendez is leading by 9%, but it's likely because previous polls were backing him up. Keep in mind, all of these are averages. They are not the most recent poll taken. Otherwise, the state would be a leaning state for the Democrats. Over in Ohio, somehow Ohio is safer than New Jersey. Sherrod Brown leads by 15.4%. That is a very, very large amount for the Democratic incumbent, considering that this race could have gotten close if the GOP ran the right candidate. Over in Indiana, this state actually, let's see if we can get this here, puts it in the tote column. Mike Braun leads by 1% in the most recent poll, along with North Dakota. That shows Kevin Cramer ahead by 0.5%. And keep in mind, Heidi Heitkamp last won against a at-large representative in her last Senate race, in which she won in 2012. That puts the Republicans at 48 seats, 2 away from the majority, and the Democrats at 36. Now we have to go over to Michigan, which is showing Debbie Stabenow a lead by 18%. Over in Wisconsin, Wisconsin is a likely state because Tammy Baldwin leads by 11.7%. Over in, let's see, actually I covered those states already. Over in Delaware, we haven't covered that state yet. That is actually in the likely column. It's closer than New Jersey. Somehow Tom Carper is leading by an average of 8.5% against his Republican opponent, well, one of them. Over down in Florida, the Republicans lead by 1.2%, which puts it in the leaning column, not the tilting column, because it's over 1%. But over in Virginia, huge lead for the Democrats, a 17.3% lead for Senator Tim Kaine over Corey Stewart in the state of Virginia. That puts the Democrats at 40, and the Republicans currently at 49 because Florida was just added to their column. Over in West Virginia, that state goes into the likely column because it is a 7% lead for Joe Manchin in the state of West Virginia. Over in Tennessee, that is a 4.5% lead for Phil Bredesen. That is a pretty considerable amount considering how Republican the state was back in 2016 in the presidential election, and actually almost every presidential election. Over in Maryland, right now, actually that is a state with no opinion polling, so that one goes to the Democrats for obvious reasons. But we do have opinion polling out of the Minnesota special election and the Minnesota at-large. Minnesota, I guess, general election with Amy Klobuchar She leads by 24%. In the special election, Tina Smith leads by 9% on average. Over in Montana, the Democrats lead by 5.5%, which puts it in the likely column. Very interesting numbers as Republican, considering the state is as Republican as it is. Over in Nevada, that is a tilt Democratic state, Jackie Rosen leads by 0.6%. However, we do have a Republican state to call, and that is the state of Missouri. The Republicans lead by 0.2%. Josh Hawley leads by 0.2% on average in opinion polling, which gives the Republicans the majority in the United States Senate. Down in Texas, we have a likely state for the GOP, a 6.5% lead for the Republican Party or Ted Cruz. In Arizona, we have a 7% lead for Kristen Sinema over the frontrunner for the GOP. If I chose any other nominee, it would be even more of a Democratic lead. So you could say that one is actually beneficial towards the Republicans. And considering that Arizona is a very Republican state, that's pretty surprising. And we have one state yet to characterize, and obviously the state of Utah. The polling numbers, 2 were taken, which when averaged out, show Mitt Romney leading by 42%. So this finishes off our map with 52 Republicans and 48 Democrats. This is the current composition. This is the new composition. A little bit more red in states like Indiana, Missouri, North Dakota, and Florida, but a little bit more blue in Nevada, Arizona, and there's probably another state that I'm missing, but whatever. That finishes off our map. Actually, probably not, because it's 3 gains for the GOP and 2 gains for the Democrats, which would be a net gain of 1 for the GOP, which gives them 52 to 48. So again, this is not my prediction. This is purely based off polling numbers. Thank you guys for watching this video. Comment down suggestions below, and I will see you all tomorrow.